Hi, it's Carrie. So this is a bit of an odd video because when I thought I was filming the intro, I was actually turning off record, so it's a little bit wonky. What I am doing here is making a bear for a friend's daughter because I made a baby blanket for her new brother and I didn't want her to get jealous that the little brother was getting something and she wasn't. I'm all wrapped up because it's winter and my disabilities get worse if I am cold. So I've not done a lot of videos recently because I simply have become disabled. My hands are most affected. I'm in this chair because it's a riser recliner and movement is difficult for me. What I hope can be gained from this is that other people like me who find things difficult to do physically can see that they are still able to do the crafts that they want to do and the art that they want to do. They just have to be careful and get, oh, slippy phone. People like me who are disabled can see that they just need to be more careful and sometimes get slightly adjusted tools so that it's easier for them to do what they're looking to do. Something that is amazing for anyone with fibromyalgia, which I have, or arthritis, which I also have, that is affecting their hands and wants to do crafts, is compression gloves. They are brilliant. These ones I've got have sticky dot things on them, the same sort of stuff that you get on the bottom of little kiddie shoes when they're like just learning to walk but they want something soft on their feet. It's the same sort of sticky things. I just bought these off of eBay. It's around $5 a pair, I believe. Yes, compression gloves are brilliant. They are very good and they have become my best friends. Now, I don't use them for crochet very much because the added padding between your fingers it makes it difficult to grip the yarn the way that I like to. So throughout this video, you'll see me occasionally wearing them and occasionally not. The biggest thing that I use is the hooks. I have some resin hooks with a big fat handle, and those are a lot easier than trying to like grip something smaller than a pencil. You can just wrap your hand around it and that is brilliant. Also, something you'll see me using is a needle threader, so you don't have to be all fiddly with things. You can just insert the threader, insert the thread, pull the threader back out, and it's done. It's that easy. Right, let's get into making this bear. Okay, here we are. Just going to remove the little paper marker from here. Find the end of the yarn, which I like to tuck underneath my elbow, not that you can really see that. All right. So I now need to know if I'm starting with a chain or a magic ring. Where are we? That's what I need, and this instructions. All right. So that's about the tension. All right. magic ring. Lovely. I can do that. I am yet to find an easier way of making a magic ring than this, but we'll see if I manage it at any point. I am a little bit slow to make the ring, but once it's there, it's all sorted. Alright. Now I'm still not quite used to feeling the wool through my gloves, so that's going to take a bit of getting used to. Where are we? Round 1, 6 double crochets into the ring. I've just realized that I don't know whether this book uses UK or US kinds, so I'm gonna have to find out which type of stitches I'm meant to be using. I have just found out that I'm going to be using UK stitch names, so that is helpful. As you can tell from my accent, most likely I am from the UK, so that's nice. So 6 double crochet into the ring for 6 stitches. That is what an American would call a single crochet. This is actually the first time I've used these larger handled hooks as well, so I will be a bit slower to start with, though I expect that will be perfect for a video. 4, 5, 6. Let's tighten that up. Round 2. Work 2 crochets into next stitch and repeat to end 12 stitches. Okay, so we're doing a round of increases. Okay, for my stitch marker, I'm going to use a piece of wool. This is a failed heart, but it will work fine as a stitch marker. So here is where I want to insert it. It's always best to, if you're going to use wool as a stitch marker, it's best to lay the wool down like this before you actually make the stitch, and then it will automatically become your stitch marker. Obviously at the end you can then pull it out, but I waited a little bit too long before realizing I needed a stitch marker, and so I had to just push it through. You've got a little bit of silver glinting in this one, but that's fine. I apologise for all of the dog hair on my blanket to keep me warm, but I have a dog. He gets everywhere and he likes to lie on soft things, so puppy hair blanket. Okay, I need to continue now. I am recording, cool. So, as you can see, I have gotten to the end and I've moved my wool stitch marker up. So round 5 is 1 double into the next 3, and then 2 into the one after. So this is a pattern of 4. Okay, I have made it to the end of round 8, and now from round 9 to round 18, so that's a total of 9 rounds, I just put 1 stitch in each. So that explains why this is so flat, because I was getting a little bit worried that it was meant to be curling up but wasn't. I am going to put 1 stitch in each for 9 full rounds. I'm not sure how well I'm going to keep track of this, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay, I have done all of the 1 in 1 rows. Now going back to where the increases were, I basically have to do the same in reverse. And where previously I put 2 stitches in one, instead I make 1 stitch out of 2, so a reduction. So you do 2 stitches halfway and then you finish it off. I will show you what I mean. So let's put my marker up here. Oops, that went through. Let's redo this. And I am not wearing my compression gloves right now because I don't need them. And wearing them for too long can cause circulation issues. Six, and then we do the decrease, which is a half stitch in one, another half stitch, and then pull through, and you have just decreased by 1. So I'm going to do that all the way around and basically just reverse the first 9 rows. Okay, I have finished the head of the bear. This is the bottom. I didn't fully do it to the instructions because I knew that this is where the neck would be going, so I don't mind having those larger holes there. Somewhere around the side here is where the face will be, more like that. Yes, Jetpack, you are a good boy. I think Jet thinks this is a toy for him, but it's not. This is not for Jetpack, no. So the next stage is the next stage then is to make the muzzle to go on the front of the bear's head. So let's find out what that will need. Apologies if you can hear the road outside. I have had to slightly open the window so that I can get some air in. Right. I've had to put my trusty gloves back on because my hands were getting a little bit sore. Come on, I need a bit more slack in here so that I can get that through. There we go. One magic ring. Sort out the tension. The tension was going the wrong way there. There we go. Right, and let's do those 6 stitches. Oh, don't tell me I was too strong with it to start with. Ah, no, I did the knot the wrong way round, so it won't undo. And I have to redo the whole thing. That's what happens if you do the knot the wrong way round. It actually ties off and it doesn't work as a magic ring. Okay, I did it right this time. Right, so that round 6 was actually the end. It said to fasten off and leave a long, gosh, how long did I leave it? I left over a foot, but it said to leave a long length of yarn for sewing. So I fastened it with a slip stitch and then left over a foot of yarn. Next comes the ears, so let's see how that starts. Okay, I think this is the first ear I made. The only issue is the second one came out like this. As you can see, it's much bigger. And I didn't know which one I went wrong with. So I made a third one, which came out the same size as the first one, so clearly I was wrong about the second. So I now have this, which I don't know what I'm going to do with because I already sealed it off, so I can't undo it without a hell of a lot of effort, but that's something for future me to worry about. What I need to think about now is how I'm going to do the pink inserts for the middle of the ears. I figured that I would just do the same, only without the last 2 rows. So let's see what that will look like. I think this is probably the right size, to be honest. So I'll just go ahead and make a second one of those, and I will be back momentarily. There we go, that's both of the ear inserts done. The last part to make is the body, and of course this also starts with a magic ring. Now I've got a foolproof way now of me getting the magic ring the right way round. So I start with the yarn over here. So I bring it over my fingers by the nail and then I cross it back over the other way. And that's when you go under the first bit, hook, pull and turn, then under that bit, and that's when you get the fiddly part of taking that second piece through the loop. There we go. Oh, not in focus, but there we are, and that is your magic ring. Okay, so after all of that, I am going to be doing the same as when it was increasing for the base, except between each layer. So the first one will be, yes, hello Jetpack, hello. So the first one, yes, you're a good boy. The first one will be 7 single stitches before a decrease, because we're going in reverse. Right, I have realized that I don't have enough of this yarn to finish off the entire bear, and that's going to have a lot to do with the fact that I chose the wrong weight of yarn. So I have undone 4 rounds because I'm going to instead switch colour of yarn for this and for the tops of the arms so that it will look like it's wearing a jumper. Okay, so because I have changed the colour for making the jumper, I've realised that this is a lighter weight yarn than I was using for the bear itself. So in order to make things look relatively consistent, I've had to double the number of stitches in this row here where the colours join, and 2 rows of the brown is equal to 3 rows of the purpley colour, which means that I'm having to add a 3rd row for every 2. And it's just quite complicated at this point. I am on the round of the 7 stitches for one reduction, and I realised I probably have stitches down here. I've gone handheld for this because I'm currently unable to get the holder for my phone in place so that I can record this properly, but as you can see, I've once again frogged absolutely everything back, and we're back down to the bare bones, back down to just the brown. I do still have the purpley maroon linked up over here, but I realised that the reason the shape was wrong is because of having put doubles in all the way around here, when I've already shown you that the size of the stitches is actually 2/3 of the size of the brown stitches. Okay, I have been following my plan from when I was last recording, and I've realised that it's kind of turned squash shaped at the top here. So once again, I find myself frogging back. And I completed the second one, so those are the arms with the little sleeveys. The tail was done exactly to the pattern Yes, that's a nice little tail. That's cute. And then we get to the leggies. So we have the foot, which was perfect, except the giant holes in the top. So I think I'm going to make some little booties for this bear's foot. And then I realized I wouldn't have enough yarn again. So I'm giving the bear leggings. So I'm gonna make a second one, and then that means that the lower part of the bear, being fur colored, will need something to cover it up so that it's not just the legs and no other part of it with black. So that means I'm going to use the rest of this color mixed with some black to make a little skirt to add on. Okay, so because when I made the skirt for what is now the dress, I just lay the initial line against the bear butt. Yeah, I didn't calculate the stitches properly, because why would I count them? Just why would I do that? Yeah, I did count the stitches once I was done with the skirt and was about to attach it, which I just did with standard double crochet stitches, which in American is single crochets. But yeah, all of this is spare. So what I'm going to do is fold it down. It's very difficult to see because it's in black. I'm going to fold it down so that instead of it being up here, it's just flat against the back here, and crochet all 3 layers together so that then when it's flipped over, it'll just have this little dimple in it, which you can't see very well, but it's literally a bear's ass, so bear butt. Anyway, it will perfectly cover up the bump of the tail. It's almost as though I planned this. Okay, so I've put little flowers on just to tie the dress together. Head's a bit floppy, but that's to be expected with this sort of shaped body. There's fluff on her from other pieces I've been working on. I will do a little tutorial on how to make these flowers. It took me a while to figure it out, but I came up with a pattern myself. I've since made another one since I've not been able to do filming, but yeah. I really hope that Freya will like this and not be upset that her brother was getting a present and she wasn't. So we're going to say bye-bye to you and hello to Freya. Hopefully she can be shown this part of the video, where Teddy's going to come and see her now and give her a big hug. I will be putting out videos hopefully once a month going forward, as I've found that crochet is very good for me, but we'll see how my health affects that. I'm gonna do my best, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.